Hi everyone, I'm Hoodie Angel Brandon, and today we are building our wonderful tomato prince. At long last, I am finally getting around to building my plus 10 Leo, and we're going to show him off. But first, I thought, as is fitting for him, we'd go ahead and let him enjoy the fruits of his labor. Look at all those delicious tomatoes I grew just for him. He is ready to harvest. He has also found some delicious meat to put into some kind of dish with his tomato. Honestly, I don't know what. I don't remember any of the recipes. But he will harvest all these tomatoes. Look at that bountiful harvest. Hopefully, he will also enjoy bountiful victories once we build him up. But I'm not holding my breath on that. Picnic Leo is not actually very good. Real quick, let's go ahead and just plant these. And of course, to replace what was taken, we must plant another field of wonderful, delicious tomatoes. I agree with Leo. Tomatoes are awesome. I love tomatoes. We used to have a little tomato plant, and I got in trouble because I would just sneak out there and pick them off the plant and eat them because tomatoes are awesome. But anyway, Leo's going to come over here, and now we're going to prepare a delicious feast for the angel army. Look at that. His siblings are here. His niece's best daughter, Morgan, is here, and Professor Byleth is here. Everyone's here to taste Leo's wonderful cuisine, which is obviously just going to be 4 tomatoes and an egg. What have we got? What is this? Go, Leo, go! Show them your skill. Behold, tomato of 4 winds, whatever the heck that is. I don't think I'll find that in any cookbook. But look, it's wonderful, it's delicious, it's 5 stars. Amazing. Bam! Wonderful job, Leo. All right, with that aside, we are here finally to work on Leo. All right, as I said, Leo is not the most impressive unit. Unfortunately, despite being a pretty popular character from Fates, I really loved him. And a lot of other people did too. But despite that, he has not gotten any really standout versions. His base version wasn't very good, and the main notable thing about him was he was the only red mage cavalry unit for a while. And then his summer version was not very good, although I actually use it most fire seasons. I use him a lot. And then he got this picnic version, and it's kind of just worse than Cecilia, who's a 3-4 ready merge unit who also now has a pref. I think before she got her pref, he at least had like a stat. He had better stats than her, but now that she has a pref, it's just it makes up for this. So unless we get like a seasonal Raven Tome, kind of like how we got seasonal Brave Weapons, unless we get a seasonal Raven Tome or something, some tome that he just uses really well, that kind of mirrors what Cecilia does. She's honestly just kind of better than him. But we love Leo, so we're going to build him anyway. Leo's a wonderful, awesome character, and he deserves more love. So we're going to do that for him. Again, this is not the best use of my Grails, but so be it. He would actually probably advise me against using Nohr's resources in this way, but you know what? I'm the Hoodie Angel Brandon, I'm the Hoodie Prince, and I make my own fate, and that fate, I just can't picture it with Leo not by our side. So he's got to be ready to go, he's got to be ready to help. And also, I need a really good green unit. I need another green unit to help out on Abyssal maps. Camilla can't shoulder the burden forever on her own, right? I mean, she probably could because Big Sis rocks, but anyway, if we look at his stats, again, nothing too exciting, nothing really stand out. He's got pretty decent defenses for a mage. Again, not even the best, but we can make something work, hopefully. But first, we're going to come over here, and we're going to use Heroic Grails, and we're going to get wonderful merges of Leo. What is in these Grails? Is it the blood of the first dragons? Is it tomato juice? Who knows? But whatever is in that, it is wonderful enough to get Leo to appear before us. And that I already have the 5-star version that I showed you, and then another 1-star or 4-star combat manual from his original Tempest. So that makes 2. And the last one, that should give us enough to make the plus 10, 11 copies in all. Yes, as we can see here, our barracks are now filled with Leo. So many Leos, and now we've just got to go and start promoting them. And we have, there we go, 10 combat manuals of Leo. Turning them into manuals just makes it faster to promote them. So there goes 200,000 feathers. Had 999 just a little bit ago, and now I'm kind of starting to run low, or at least lower than I'd like. But it is for a great cause. Now we can move to merge allies and start combining these wonderful Leos. All these ingredients will make a wonderfully powerful plus 10 unit. Here he is, plus 1, getting that attack and a little speed that doesn't really help him too much. The HP is kind of nice because he is a bulkier unit, but his speed is just nothing particularly noteworthy. But his defenses are pretty usable, I think. And I do think that I do prefer Leo being green, just because red units are pretty common. There's a lot of good red units. But there are less green units that I like, so I kind of like this version over his base version, even though his base version has the pref, just because this one has the more useful color for me, lets him have a niche, although I do wish that this version did have access to his pref. Just give him his pref. It's not even that impressive. Let him side grade into it. But there he goes. Up to 7. Eight. And at last, there we go. He is plus 10. Now, before we get into actually building him, let's do some other stuff before we get into actual skill sets. First, we can go ahead and give him just all the dragon flowers, a wonderful garnish for his lovely sandwiches. Improve his stats just a little bit, make him a little more impressive. And I did give him a water blessing. Honestly, there wasn't any real reason for water. I just tossed it on there. I thought it was fitting, I guess. I should do dark blessing, but I kind of want to keep him water blessed though, because there's a lot of nasty water legendaries running around right now, and having Leo to maybe pitch in and help counter them could be helpful. So for now, we'll leave him with the water blessing, though dark fits a little bit better thematically. And against my better judgment, I am actually going to use my trait fruit on him. We can call them trait tomatoes in this case. I'm thinking plus attack and like minus speed. I was thinking like def or res could be useful because he is a bit bulkier, but I kind of want to just keep his stats kind of even because I'm weird like that. And plus attack will kind of always be useful. Some sets he might prefer being a little more physically defensive or a little more magically bulky, but attack will just always be useful across the board. So I think that's what we're going to go with. Just take the plus attack and the speed flaw. Not exciting, but it works right. So he will get a little bit better with that. And with that, he is now looking pretty respectable. And finally, can give him a nice little accessory. I know that it's kind of like his thing. He comes with the picnic lunch, but I actually like the white flower crown on him. It looks really cute, and it's a little bit more a serious accessory. You could also give him like some squirrels or the ducks, but I just really like him with the white flower crown. It looks really cute, so that's what we're gonna go with. He can have that. And I would like him to have an ally support. I'm gonna partner him up with Xander. I'm gonna finally break Xander up with Veronica. I'm planning that I will probably see Xander on a team with Leo more often. So we're just going to have these two develop their brotherly bond a little bit. And, Xander can be a little distant, but he needs to know that Leo's there for him when he needs it. He can always go to Leo for some tactical advice. And Xander is always there for Leo when he needs it as well. So they will get AC support eventually. So now we have to inherit skills to Leo. Not as many as Sethith. But I did get a good list of fodder for him. A lot of it's more common stuff, but I think we can do some cool stuff with what I've got. So we're just going to go ahead and go through first things first. We're going to kick things off with the Talk Me manual. This is actually kind of funny, given the initial nature of Takumi and Leo's relationship. This is just a little funny. We'll go ahead and grab Retribution and Vengeance. I don't anticipate ever needing Threat and Speed, but maybe there will be some map where Vengeance could be helpful. So we'll grab that, and more importantly, we'll grab Close Counter. Kyria gives him the lovely Attack Res lull. Unfortunately, we can't get the solo as well, but the lull skill will be great. One of the few nifty little toys Cavalry have access to. So hopefully Leo can put it to good use. And this Bearcoot, I was considering foddering him to Sethith, but I think Leo can use it a little more because he can use it to counter mages who he would actually be able to counterattack, since Sethith can't use distant counter in his A slot. So we're going to let Leo have this warding stance instead. Gives him an option to get the guard effect as well, which is really helpful, whereas Sethith has Pulse Smoke. He's gotta have Aether. And now I don't normally spend Grails on fodder, but we are going to go ahead and grab something this time. Here's Pan, you can see, is one of the few units that I've actually used for I've spent Grails on for fodder. That was back before we had Death Smoke in the common pool. But we're going to grab Brunya so that he can get Res Smoke. I gave the other copy to Female Morgan. Res Smoke. And we are going to actually have him steal Cecilia's old tome. It's okay, she's not using it anymore. She has the Tome of Order, which is just better. So she doesn't mind handing over her old tome to poor Leo here, who needs it a good deal more than she does. And we'll grab Escape Route while we're at it. Movement Assists or movement B slots are just nice to have access to. And similarly, Nino doesn't know how to read, and she's got a new tome anyway, so she doesn't need her old Grondblade. So, again, more alms for the poor, I suppose. I guess we'll grab Hone Attack 3 while we're here. I don't think we'll ever use it, but who knows. And with this, a skilled Leo can beat any Takumi. Oscar, Oscar, come help us prepare lunch. Oh, yeah, I forgot. He actually has Lancebreaker 1 and 2. I don't remember why I gave him that, but oh well. And as always, no dish is complete without lovely reposition. Alright, I went back and forth on this one a lot, and this is actually after I inherited the first batch of skills to Leo. But I don't ever use my Lu. I was kind of excited to get him because I think his art is kind of cool, but I just never use him. He's minus attack. His base kit is not great. So I feel like I'm going to put it on Leo. I'm going to give him Rally Up Res and Grand Serpent. Even though I probably won't use them that much on Leo either. At least they might actually see some use at some point. So I'm just going to do that. And eventually if I get another Lu, then I can keep him or whatever. But for now, I'm just going to give those to Leo. And we are going to go ahead and refine the Serpent Tome for both Def and Res, just so that he has both options available to him. And now, once again, this is after the initial batch of Inheritance, but I got the Sylvain off the special, double special Heroes banner, so we can steal his Melon Float. It would be nice to grab Chill Res or Rouse Attack Def as well, but I'd have to give up another 5-star to get those. So instead, we'll just take the float and call it good. That was what I wanted from him the most. And now we will refine his Melon Float to make it some plus Dev Juice. We can take plus Res too. There we go. We'll say it's tomato juice, right? Alright, so we have quite a few skills here to learn. Some of these I already had on him from back before I was fully convinced I was going to build him. I kind of gave him some budget stuff to work with, but now he's got a lot more stuff to pull from, more than he will probably ever need, but you never know what weird situations will call for something random, right? So let's just take a look. We gave him like all the breakers to help cheat his low speed, and they also work with that Raven Tome we gave him. Just always nice to have access to different breakers for random situations. You never know when you just need to deny some random unit in an abyssal map a double or something. But yeah, now I've got to go learn all this. My favorite part of these. Alright, now we are ready to put together his builds. He's all trained up and ready to go. All his skills are learned, and he ended up with more of them than I anticipated because I ended up giving him some stuff afterwards. But yes, first skill set that we're going to build for him is probably his kind of go-to. It's kind of a balanced mixed bulk setup. For being a ranged cavalry from an old gen, his defensive stats aren't that terrible. They're pretty nice mixed stats, so I wanted to build around that. So first things first, we're going to take his classic sandwich. We're going to take the plus res one. Gives him attack and res +4 if the enemy initiates. So that puts him at 37 plus 4. He goes up to 41 res, which is pretty solid, as well as a pretty actually respectable for an old unit, an old mage anyway, attack of 58. So very nice. Though he could definitely take a def refined sandwiches instead to lean into that more, since the sandwiches give him res, balances things out a little bit more. That would be a great option if he was taking a different seal than what I'm going to give him. But for now, we're just going to run with the plus res sandwiches. Easy enough to swap out based on whatever he's running in his seal and what he needs. Next, he has any of these options for a assist. He could definitely take rally up res to give his allies some support or something, but we're gonna go with the classic, the tried and true reposition. It's boring, but it works, especially well with his cavalry movement. Next, he can run any kind of offensive special, but I like Aether on my main sets. I know everyone says it's kind of slow, but I love that sustain. I love that extra burst damage. Just super nice. And then for his A slot, we're going to go with close counter. He can run plenty of other options here, a stance skill, but for an all-rounder set, I like being able to counterattack anyone who decides to attack him. And then in his B slot, we are going to give him the lovely lull attack res, pushes his defenses and res up even more by lowering the enemy's stats, and makes it so he doesn't have to worry about their buffs. Gives him basically a if enemy initiates, he goes up to 58, and then plus lowering the enemy's res by 3 makes him basically have 61 res if the enemy initiate, or 61 attack if the enemy initiates, as well as a nice little extra cushion to his defenses. And then finally in his C slot, as always, these are super flexible. He could definitely take attack smoke to round out his defenses even more. He could take something like drive speed to boost allies more. But I'm going to go with res smoke. Gives him a little more punch, but again, that's really flexible. And then finally for the sacred seal, we're going to come down here and we're just going to take classic steady stance 3. No one else is really using it at the moment. But with sandwiches, he goes up to 41 res if the enemy attacks, but then steady stance also gives him a very nice 39 defense to go along with it. So he's just going to be kind of hard to crack on either side of the spectrum. Not bad for a relatively underwhelming unit, if I say so myself. So next up for skill set number 2, this is a bit more of a specialized set. Basically, I call this set Cecilia, but if she was a cute boy, because he's basically just gonna take up the classic set that I kind of consider it the classic set for mages that don't really have a strong offensive stat line or anything. I do this for a lot of mages. I give them kind of a budget build where it's just a Raven Tome, and I make them a hard counter to colorless in whatever color they're good against. So we're gonna take the Gran Raven, and this, like I said, Cecilia definitely runs this set better and cheaper, especially now that she has a pref that's just a really good version of a Raven Tome. But Leo can pull some specialization as well. So we're going to take Gran Raven, and again, flexible assist slot. We could take drawback, we could take reposition. We'll take drawback just for a little difference here. Next, for his special, he can take any of these again. We could take Aether. I'm just going to go ahead and give him, where is it? We'll take Iceberg just so he can kill things a little faster off of his nice res stat. For this A slot, we're going to go Triangle Adept, so that he can hard counter things in conjunction with his Raven Tome. And in the B slot, he could take lots of options depending on what unit he needs to counter specifically. Lancebreaker or Axe Breaker to get those doubles, Bow Breaker, Dagger Breaker, and the Tome Breakers, etc., based off whatever he needs. But low attack res is a good all-around option. Just again, it improves his damage output and his defensive cushion a little bit more, and it makes it so that the units that he's hard countering can't try and further break through using buffs and stuff. So really nice, and then he can take a breaker if he needs to counter something specifically. And then we'll go ahead and give him the attack smoke to just improve his defenses a little more. And then finally in the C slot, he could take a variety of skills. Once we get bracing stance as a skill, that would be a great choice for him. But until then, he could definitely take something like Def Res 2 to just give him a little more defensive cushion. Or what I think is probably a slightly better option is Quick Riposte 3 to just help guarantee those doubles and get those kills. So that whatever he's countering doesn't end up getting like Wings of Mercy danced and then kill everyone else or anything like that. So that's just basically Cecilia, but worse. Oh, Leo. Poor Leo. Next up is a full defensive set. And for this one, we're going to take Grand Serpent. He could take Def or Res Refined Grand Serpent. I don't think it really matters too much, though I do feel like he'd probably be tanking more magical threats. So I'd lean more towards the Res Grand Serpent, but if you need to take archers or daggers more, then definitely Def Refined could work too. And this is kind of like, well, you'll see. In the assist slot, we'll go ahead and take, we'll take Rally Up Res Plus, just to help other allies tank things. Though again, like, flexible. In the special slot, again, he could take any of these options, though we'll take Iceberg just so he can actually leverage his really great res once this is all said and done. In the A slot, he's got all these options. We could definitely take Distant Defense 3. This would make it pretty much a triple Distant Defense build, though I'd want to eventually upgrade that to Distant Defense 4, and I do think that since he has a lull skill, that's not as important, so I'd actually prefer Warding Stance 4 on him, or if he needs to tank archers, Steady Stance. I think the guard effect is a little more powerful, but he could definitely run Distant Defense 4 and then run guard in his B slot or Quick Riposte in his B slot, depending on what he needs. Next up, since we're just going all in on defense, we're going to take lull attack res once more, and then finally attack smoke again to just really lean into those defensive stats. And to top things off, we're going to go ahead and just slap in an easy Distant Defense 3 in the seal slot. Again, this set could easily be converted into a triple Distant Defense build, running Distant Defense in the A slot and then swapping in like guard or QR for his B. Very simple set, but works pretty well. I like it on Morgan. I like it on. I like double Distant Defense on Xander, and I think Leo's actually probably in the best color for that kind of set. I feel like blue mages are more of a threat than like green mages or red mages. So pretty nice to have the option on him for a full defense or a full ranged counter set. All right, skill set number 4, and I just remembered that they increased the number of skill sets. I was like, whoa, wait, I've got a lot more of these to go through. No, I'm only doing 5. Only 5. That's still kind of an absurd number of sets, but I like spoiling my favorites, and Leo is really cool. He deserves to be spoiled, and if IS isn't going to do it, because goodness knows they have not, with the way they have treated him in FEH so far. If they aren't going to do it, then I will do it. Leo's awesome, snarky but smart and cool, and he's got a sweet spot. Really cool character, and he deserves this. So next up, this is the boring set, but it's Blade Tome. This is another set where it's kind of like, yeah, most mages can run this. It's not that interesting. Though Leo, I think, will be pretty decent at this, just off of the fact that he has access to easy buffs via being a cavalry unit. Though Blade Tomes, I was never a huge fan of them, just because they were always kind of mindless. And now especially, a lot more units have lull skills. In abyssal maps, you might see a dull skill. Panic effects are more common, and you still have the requirement of having to bring your own buffs. So it needs a little setup, but when it works, or once it gets going, Blade Tomes are always super good. We're gonna go ahead and take reposition on this so that he could swap an enemy out of danger and then tank for him. Though he could run swap on that note to swap in, but I like reposition. For his special, we're just gonna go ahead and take Glimmer. And then we're gonna we could definitely take Fury 3 for a more offense-oriented build, though I actually want to run Close Counter on him, because again, he does have those decent defensive stats, and Close Counter Blade Tomes can be pretty nasty if they're fully set up and the enemy doesn't have a counter for them. But again, Fury, if you're running something with like Dancers and Wings of Mercy, could definitely work as well. We're going to run Close Counter with Vantage, so the enemy attacks in, and then they just get slapped with a full spectrum of buffs. Can be really gross. I've run that on Morgan. Although, again, I think Leo's probably a little bit better because he actually has the defensive stats to where if he doesn't one-hit kill, he can still maybe survive. If he's got enough HP left over. And then for the C slot, we're going to go ahead and take the Res Smoke once more. If we had like joint drive attack, that could be another great option. And I would imagine this set would be more on a full cavalry team, so he could definitely run something like Fortify or Hone or Ward or Goad Cavalry. But Res Smoke is just good for this kind of build, lower everyone's res so that they come in and just keep getting slapped by the Blade Tome. And then finally, in the C slot, he can take a variety of different skills. We could take Fierce Stance, but I like Brazens on this kind of build because they synergize with the Vantage. So we'll go ahead and go with Brazen Attack Res. Really, any of the attack boosting Brazens could work, although I lean more towards Res just because he might be able to tank a mage or something a little easier with it. So go ahead and take that, and it's just standard, boring Blade Tome, but hey, if it works, right? And finally, the last set. This one is a bit more of a meme build. I call this one Snack Time Support. And it's basically turns into an ambulance. He just kind of runs around and heals people. Honestly, this probably isn't a good set. Like I said, it's a meme, but it's a meme. I don't have any real justification. So we're gonna take the Melon Float. It gives him an extra attack res +5 and restores 7 HP on the first combat per phase. So it's a little bit more niche in that a lot of the time it won't be active, but as a more support-oriented set, this build probably shouldn't be seeing a lot of combat anyways. So we're going to go ahead and take the attack or the defense Melon Float. Res would be another good one just to lean further into that res boost that it gives, but I like to balance my units out a little bit, so this way he has a little bit more defense to go along with the res +5 boost. Makes him a little less lopsided. And next in his assist slot, you could definitely take reposition or drawback to pull allies out of danger. You could take rally up res to just lean into that support more. Though I want to give him reciprocal aid so that he can just use all the HP that he's going to be getting from this set and keep his allies topped off. Melon Float gives him more HP, so he's not in danger of running low. We're going to give him, we could run Noontime Soul. We could take Iceberg for more damage, though I think it's funnier to just go full in on the healing. So we'll give him Soul. In the A slot, I think at full investment, I would run like Fortress Def Res on this build to just make him super tanky and unlikely to just get one shot. Although Fury 3 is an acceptable secondary choice. It also might give him, with Fortress Def Res, might give him the defensive stats to actually soak a chill or something from an ally. Though, again, Fury's just kind of a budget option. He can definitely take his, like, warding stance or something, but I'm just going to take Fury for this build. In the B slot, I think max investment, he would be really good with, like, Mystic Boost. But in a pinch, but since this is just kind of a relatively low investment budget setup, we'll just take Renewal. It fits the theme of keeping his HP up, and lets him work with reciprocal aid and keep allies healed up and stuff. And then we'll take Breath of Life, just to full in on the jokes here. He could definitely take a second copy of Breath of Life, though I think a little more consistent, since he's probably not going to be in combat too often, would just be a second Renewal. But he could take even like something like Fortress Def or something to just improve his defenses more. But like, again, this is a joke build. Let's just take a look at this. Yeah, that doesn't look too good. Again, with the full investment setup, I'd probably run like Fortress Def Res and Mystic Boost. But honestly, I don't think this build is good enough to justify that level of investment. So this is fine, I suppose, for the snack support, right? So those are the 5 builds that I wanted to build for him up. So let's next go over to Arena Assault and test him out. We're going to go ahead and bring a Nohr-themed team this time around. We'll bring the Nohr family. We got our good boy Corrin running some support. We got... Well, everyone here is going to like support him in some way, because honestly, I don't think Leo is going to be soloing anything. But we've got Corrin with his standard support build. Actually, since he's the only infantry here, we'll go ahead and swap out infantry breath. We will take Spur Def Res instead. But he's got his attack speed ruse and Def Res ruse, or rally Def Res. We got Camillo supporting with her axe and her range skill. We got Xander, who has Hone Cavalry. And between these two, we can actually, between his rally and his Hone Cavalry, we can actually trigger Leo's full spectrum of buffs for that Blade Tome setup, so that'll be kind of fun. We'll just go ahead and take these 4 in and test them out in Arena. Yeah. All right. So again, not looking for anything super special or anything. Nothing in particular with this. Just going to take him in and do some battles. And again, we're not going to be soloing whole teams with Leo here. Oh, hey, a Xander. A very good Xander. I appreciate you. You are a summoner of culture and a Seteth. Wow. That's just my setup. That is straight up my Seteth. Alright, anyway, got distracted. Let's go, I've rambled enough. Leo, get in position. Corrin, you go help. Camilla, you go help. Alright. Alright, the legendary Corrin is a little spooky. In fact, she is very spooky. She's very big. Why is she so big? Isn't there a way that we can, like, not have to take all 4 of these guys at once? Unlikely. we... No. I was going to say we could bring Camilla up top and bait the flyers out, but I don't know that that'll work. All right. Let's try this. We'll go ahead and rally def res him, give him that support there, bring Xander over here, and just pass like that. So he's getting some support from Corin and Camilla. Let's see if he can tank some of these guys here. So Hinoka comes over and attacks. Leo doesn't get the kill, but, well, ooh, that did a lot more than I was hoping thanks to that special. But Seth cannot take him out. Seth cannot defeat Leo, and Leo takes him out in one shot in return. Good job, Leo. Next, we're going to send him over here and attack Hinoka. Goodbye, Nohrian scum. Wait, no, we're the Nohrian scum. Oops. Alright, Leo reposition Xander out of, or Xander reposition Leo out of there. And next, I'm not that afraid of this Xander. He's gonna attack into us, so that's fine. Alright, here he comes. And thanks to Camilla's axe, we double back and take him out. Good job. And, oh, go get him, Leo. Mess her up. She's the fake Corn. We've got the real Corn right here next to us. Goodbye. Bam. There we go. That was, he did a better job than I expected looking at that. Like, yeah, he had support, but, good job, Leo. Good job. Alright, for this second match, we are testing the Raven Tome. I went ahead and reset until I found someone with a with one of the evil units from Water Season, because Leo is water blessed. I found a legendary Dimitri lead, and then I happened to click on it, and wow, it's even worse than I thought. Look at that, we got Crom, we got Brave Dimitri, and we've got this Ashnard. Not the scariest unit here. I mean, he is for Leo. Leo, with his Triangle Adept, is not going to be taking down this Ashnard most likely, but wow, this is gross. But we do have some defense tiles we can use here. So we're going to just send Leo up, and alright. Leo versus Dimitri. He's just going to take him down real quick. Again, this is a hard green colorless counter set. Sad that we didn't have any like legendary leaf in here to test against, but Crom is a good enough test in my opinion. If this goes well, I might run his this setup for Water Season, especially because Water Season is just bad. I don't like Water Season anymore. It's not fun. So we'll just go ahead and pass again. All right. We will go ahead and send Leo up here. We cannot quite kill Crom, but we can bait him onto this defense tile, and that should do it. And then Xander will have to tank Ashnard. So here he comes. Xander's not too worried about it. Get him, big bro. And then Leo is going to tank that Crom. Goodbye, you demon. No. No. Be gone. Hate you. I really, really hate him. Alright, so yeah. Leo, even with buffs, due to Triangle Adept, cannot touch Ashnard. It's just not something that's going to happen. But Xander's got him. Get him out of here, Xander. First hit does nothing, but here comes the Aether. Cuts right through him. He already used the guard bearing, so goodbye. And now we've just got this last brave Dimitri rushing down at us, but Alright, if we do that, it's still not great. What if we do that? It's still not gonna kill him, but Leo, try and tank this, okay? I know you're injured, but try and tank this. He's doing 0 to you, so try and tank him on this phase. Yeah, there we go. Nothing to fear. Leo is here. Take him out. Good job! Again, like, killing blues is what he's supposed to do with this set, but it's still good to see it's working against some of the worst scourges of water season. Next, we are testing that ranged setup. So I was looking for someone with a ranged lead. We got 2 ranged units here, so that's good. And neither of them are ones that he has colorless or color advantage. So it'll be a bit more accurate of a test of his tanking capabilities, I feel. So we are going to have Corin come up and give him a defensive boost, and go ahead and move Camilla over to support with her axe. But here comes Jamkey. Well, oh, there he goes. I was gonna say never mind. He was gonna get blocked, but Leo tanks him. Still doing a good bit of damage, though. The build I ran with Warding Stance 4 and Res Refined Grand Serpent is more inclined to tanking mages than it is for bows and daggers, but it could definitely be tuned towards that. We'll have Corin come up here and gonna just move Xander over so that next turn he can get an attack buff. I probably should have left him over there. Could have left Corin over to support with his spurs instead, though. Here comes 12 times 2. Leo counters with the iceberg. Goodbye, sir. Alright, so now he's getting his attack def buff. We'll send Corin over to... actually, we don't want to get hit by Echidna, so we are going to send Corin over to get out of the way, I guess. Alright. Corin will tank Echidna, and we'll get Leo prepped to tank Soren next round, hopefully. Ouch. That's concerning. I really wanted to tank you with Leo, but I don't know that that's going to work. Alright. Just keep trying to take down Echidna. Rutger's gonna come and attack Xander, but Xander is not concerned. Alright. Echidna's almost down. So Leo can take him out now. Goodbye. Although now we've got to worry about you. I know. We will send Leo up here. Hopefully Soren will actually attack Leo instead of Xander. Actually, although that leaves Camilla in range of Rutger. Just go ahead and pass there. Hope that Rutger attacks into Corin, so that's fine. Corin will do a good chunk back. There we go. Soren did attack Leo. So yeah, he's doing 0 times 2. So Leo's not going to take him out, but he is going to put a good dent in him. And now we can just end things. Leo can come take out Soren. Goodbye. And Xander takes out Rutger. Be gone. Bam. Good job, team. That was a little scary, to be honest. So next is the Blade Tome setup. We're going to go in here, see what we've got. Hopefully not a bunch of lull skills. We got one lull skill, so that's one unit right there that our Blade Tome is weakened against. Lull skills, panic effects, even things that reduce damage, all kind of counter Blade Tomes. So again, they are not an auto win button in today's landscape, but we're just gonna pull everyone up, and we could I think we could buff Leo up and send him over here. We'll bring Xander over again so that he can get his honed cavalry for next turn, and we'll bring Camilla up as well to support with her axe and her range skill, although I don't think she's close enough to trigger on either of these guys, so never mind. Rayson does not want to attack. Nino attacks into Leo 20 times 2. Ow. We kill her on the counterattack, but still. If it had not been for that defense tile, we would have taken a good chunk of damage. Buff him up, and we'll send him over to attack Ross. Alright, there you go. And res smoke him. Alright, here they come. Ross attacks into Leo, but vantage, surprise. Bam! There we go. Rayson attacks. But surprise! Be gone! There we go. He just needed a little setup in there. Nino was more than willing to help us out with that. So next, go ahead and buff him up. Ooh, almost. If we send Camilla over here, no, we are 1 square away. Never mind. I can't count squares. Okay, guys, it's not one of my skills. But now we can get him. Beat him up, Leo. Hit him with the funny number. Bam. Good job. Finally, we have the snack time support build, which honestly, I don't know how to test this. How am I supposed to showcase this? I don't know. We're just gonna, I guess we will, maybe that'll work. All right, so first things first, we're going to pop that. Well, we'll pass actually. All right, there we go. So we're going to have Corin come up and lay down his ruse, and we're gonna have Xander come over here, and we'll send Camilla over to support with her axe. Leo's just gonna hang back so that he can top Xander off after he fights these two. So they're gonna come and attack. Well, Leaf is gonna come and attack Xander, and he's not gonna do a whole lot actually. Good job, Xander. Leaf is not so scary when you're the Crown Prince of Nohr. And so we're going to have Leo come over. He actually doesn't hold enough HP. Maybe HP plus 5 would be a better seal slot for him than a second renewal. But we're going to send him up, heal up Xander a little bit. And we're going to wait. We're going to bait Lynn out. All right, here she comes. She is barely doing damage to Xander. And, well, I guess Aether kind of defeats the point of having Leo heal him up, right? Again, I don't know how to test this build. We'll send Leo to attack Gwen. He does not kill her. He's going to take a lot of damage. Ouch. But it's okay. He healed himself up by 1 with the melon float. I'm not sure why it only went up by 1. Shouldn't it have been more? Weird. Anyway, they have thing. There we go. All right. Alright, so we're going to have Leo heal himself up with renewal. And 21 times 2. Now he can survive, but I don't want. Okay, fall back, guys. All right, Leo's healed up again. Going to buff, and now he can take her out. Goodbye, Sheena. Be gone. Leo's got a drink. He's got a sandwich, one in each hand. He's just having a lovely time. He's not gonna let these janky armors rain on his picnic. And now Leo can go and take out Gwendolyn. Good job. Was that even a showcase? I don't know, but we won. Good job, Leo. Even with the janky meme build, you did the good job. So that was Leo, and he needed some support. He is definitely not the best unit that I've invested in, but he was actually surprisingly a lot of fun, and he didn't do as bad as I was honestly expecting. Again, like, he needed that support, but he was putting in some work. He made some stuff happen. So I'm excited to use him in future maps. Nice to have another green unit, so maybe Camilla can take a break. She's been overworked the last few years, so it's nice to see her brother able to step in and support, and he even brought snacks, so that's lovely. So thank you guys, as always, so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this and enjoyed seeing a much less used, a much less seen unit get built up and see some love. I'm glad that I was able to give Leo some love because, again, IS really doesn't. Poor Leo. Poor Leo. Maybe one day. But until then, this is Hoodie Angel Britain and the Angel Army signing out. It's time to go eat.